going to call this meeting to order. Goodness. And unlike my sheets that I had here are missing. So I am not prepared for the I apologize. Did you send? She cuts the name. What was that one? I had them in page protectors. That's them. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Sturgeon Public Schools respectfully acknowledges that we teach, learn, and grow together on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. We honor and respect the history, language, ceremonies, and cultures of the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people who have called this land home for countless generations. We recognize the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Métis, Dene, Nakota Sioux, and Inuit for their care, love, and stewardship of this place. We are grateful for those who share their knowledge with us and help to foster a respectful relationship with all of our relatives on this land. We are committed to understanding the harms done in the name of education and continue to learn to honor the true spirit of Treaty 6 as a promise of friendship, collaboration, and a peaceful alliance. Can I get someone, are there any additions to the agenda? Can I get someone to approve the agenda? Asha, all in favor? Stacy, when your camera's off, I don't know if your hand's up, so either you want to use, okay, thank you. Okay. Motion carried. Approval of the minutes. First of all, were there any errors or omissions on the agenda or the minutes from last meeting? Okay, seeing none, can I get an approval of the minutes? Trish, all in favor? Unanimous. There's no business arising from the minutes. The Christina and Connor are here, so we're actually going to do the STEAM presentation now. They're just going to be with us shortly.
Good morning, everyone. As they are getting set up, I'll just do a quick introduction. I would like to welcome two wonderful teachers to do a presentation today on our STEAM programming and technologically challenged here. We have Christina Defoe, who is teaching at Four Winds School, and Connor Wood, who is at Gibbons School. And these are two amazing leaders for our STEAM programming in the division. And so we're very excited to have them present today.
Right. Okay, how's that? Cool? Okay, sweet. I don't have to press it every time? It's on now? Okay, cool, sweet.
Thank you.
How's it going? Well, my name is Connor Wood. I'm a teacher at Gibbons School.
I am Christina Defoe, a teacher at Four Winds.
And we together, we're not the whole, oh, sorry, yeah. Is it just me?
Share.
I could email it to her.
Here, sorry, did we not forward it to you, Michelle? It should be.
Yeah, it is.
Share.
But he's.
Dave's going on.
Trustee Buga, I don't know, can you see the screen?
If it's just Ms. Buga, I can email her the link.
Okay,
if
sure.
That helps.
We're gonna email it to you.
Or we can share it with her.
No, but still, you don't have to worry, Connor.
Sure. Okay, well, that's okay, because the first activity that we've got for you is, does everybody have a copy of the presentation? Did that get sent out? No? Okay, that's okay. We'll do this. All right. You guys are going to go to a website for me. If you have your devices. If you don't have your devices, you can sign one out at the back of the room.
Or
Or pair up.
And learning together.
We're going to give you a little taster of a small activity here. So if you go to Google and type in MakeCode microbit. Sorry, I thought the presentation would have got emailed out, but that's okay. We can make do. If you go to MakeCode microbit, this is a piece of hardware that we use pretty much every day. Probably about 75% of all the stuff that you see on the table is powered by a microbit. So what you guys are going to do today is you're going to make a heart flash. Very cool. Yeah, it's good. So does everybody see this page? Okay, all right. So there's a tutorial here. It's called Flashing Heart. So click into that. And then you don't have to worry. It's not like back in the day where you had to like code the turtle to move around on the Apple II. It's all blocks now. So this is what the kids use.
The start tutorial.
And this is what you're going to do here. So this is a great activity. I was just talking to Ben over at SPBA about incorporating STEAM into online education. And the good thing about this website is you don't actually need a microbit because you get a virtual one ready to rock. So if you want to, if you're a keener and you want to go through and do the tutorial by yourself, that's great. But I'll do it along with you as well. And we can do, actually, do you want to do the tutorial?
I can
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, go ahead.
Sure. All right. You want to walk around and make sure they're on the right spot? So here's a forever block. It's saying to click on the basic category. And you'll see under the basic category, it says show leads, or which are LEDs. LEDs, so on the microbit, there are 25 LEDs that light up. So all these little dots here are actually lit up when you actually put the code in. The microbit does not know what to do unless you tell it what to do. It is essentially a computer in a shell. So you have to program it on what to do. So you drag that show LEDs into the forever block, and then you click on the squares to draw a heart design or a design of your choice. So I will start to draw a heart here. It might not be perfect because I haven't practiced this one in a while. But once you click on, you'll see that the LEDs will light up. And if you make a mistake, you can just click on the LED again. You can see here, I can see, okay, I want one there. If I didn't want one in the middle, I'd take the middle out. As you are activating the LEDs, you'll see your virtual microbit light up. We are now done this step. Just click the next. And then it says drag another show LED block underneath. If I'm doing this with the students, I'd ask, what do you think will happen if I have one that has LEDs and then one without? So picture the steps of what are going to happen. So you just drag another one underneath. And now when I press play, or don't even have to press play because it's a forever loop, your heart is now flashing. So this is like the first step of introducing microbits. And then from there, they just take it where you would never even believe they could take it before. And then they would download the program onto their microbit. You can attach a battery pack to it. And then they walk around and they show you what they've done and they're so excited. It's nice that they can have actually something in their hand that they're able to use. The microbit itself is only $26 altogether. So it's a very reasonably starting point for anybody and for any school. And again, if you don't have the funding, you also have a virtual bit. Yeah. Oh, can I tell you, this microbit has buttons you can program. It has a touch sensor at the top. It has a tilt sensor, an accelerometer, so you can actually make it a step counter. It has a temperature sensor, so you can code it to for the temperature in the room versus outside. So all the science capabilities with this as well as mathematical, it's phenomenal. Yeah. So when you drop it, yeah. But again, it doesn't know what to do unless you code it what to do. An empty one's just a space and the kids fill it up with just amazing things that they come up with. And then with the microbits, like Connor was saying, there's expansion packs to them and they can make robots that think, sense, act. They can do project-based projects. These kits here from Inksmith were only $30 and it has all the motors, the expansion board, so they can just go from there and make all these really cool projects. And
Great for not scaffolding.
oh, for progression.
Because
Thank you.
microbits, this one, like I made this one yesterday, little speaker, piano.
So they have a microphone in them.
I'd say probably as young as grade 3, 4 can get their hands on and make flashy cards. And then as you go up, you can make automatic. Like I had a kid last year make a automatic plant water. So you can put up like a moisture sensor.
Yeah, that
then
one's
water pump, and then if it detects that it's dry, add water until it detects it's not dry anymore. So
a progression in our programs would look like in grade 5 when they enter STEAM Academy. they get one of these as part of their fee. And then grade 6, they would get an expansion to that where now they can use motors and different sensors with that as well as a breakout board. And then from there, they get an even bigger kit that allows them to do even more things. So it has a progression as they go along. So, and in every grade, they've been just excited as soon as we get to use the bits. So, yeah. And the Christmas tree.
Yeah, so the Christmas tree, like they, I actually have to speak over here so that so you can hear me, but the criteria for it was it had to have like a theme, and it had to have a common on button and a common off button so that somebody could go and press all of them off so they won't kill the batteries. But so this student decided to make a little snowflake, and when you press both the buttons together, it tries to sing. You'll what song is it? Like Jingle All the Way. Sorry, I couldn't think of it, but it kind of peters off at the end. But right, so yeah, that's some microbit stuff that we do, which is pretty sweet.
And it's a great program to really introduce to anybody in your life that seems to be interested in, like my nieces love it as well. So that was our first activity.
Yeah, so we like regretfully it's Gibbons Christmas concert day today, so we couldn't bring any kiddos with us today because they're all busy in the gym. But I did take some videos earlier this week of some of my kids and the projects that they were doing. So I'll show those to you guys, but just give you some background. Take these off the trees. Right, but the kids, you'll see the kids on the computer there. They designed and 3D printed Christmas ornaments. It's kind of a mistake. So I can start two over here and two over here. So these our parent council, they purchased us 6 3D printers. So you kind of see them in the back. They look like I don't know, what do they look like? Box.
Like, yeah.
But they get this little spool of plastic wire and it goes in. I kind of think of like a glue gun. It kind of glues in layers and kind of builds up. So this is the program that we use called Tinkercad. So the kids design it and then download it and then send it to the 3D printers. And the printers do all the heavy lifting of making it. So here's a couple kids talking about that. Can you tell me your favorite part about STEAM?
My favorite part about STEAM is the engineers that I need to do because I'm inspired to be my dad. He's an engineer.
So yeah, inspired to be his dad, who's an engineer, which is pretty special. Sorry, I'm just going to turn the sound up a little bit here. Oh, we're cranked. Can you tell me your favorite part about STEAM?
My favorite
There we
part
go.
about STEAM
Can you tell me your favorite part about STEAM?
my favorite part.
Let me
Everybody
guess.
has technical
STEAM,
difficulties.
Let me guess. He wants to be engineer.
Can
Can you tell me about your Christmas ornament?
I thought it would be a cool design to make a giant hole in the middle and make it so it's, I don't really know, but I tried to go for something pretty neat.
So Charles, this is Charles. Charles was pretty neat, funny kid. But the expectation was that they would build, how it comes off the printer is flat like this. They would build kind of a flat one, and we amped it up. And he's like, "Can I make a 3D one?" So like, he made this all by himself. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So like, we get kids, we set the bar kind of here, and some kids, they're happy with that, and some kids just take it. And, right. So super duper neat. Can you tell me about your Christmas ornament? Sorry, this little guy's talking about his ornament.
I'm a measurer. This is my maker bedroom. You press button A, show the picture. And when you press button B, it comes up. Press go. There's a little something on this one. That's my maker bedroom. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was one of our junior high students. Okay, sorry, I feel like I'm talking to ten here at the beginning, but.
Oh, I'm
okay.
talking in the middle.
Yeah,
so they're all
okay,
good.
all right, okay. So, with the, oh my goodness. There we go. So we obviously, we run our academy 2 days a week, for elementaries and 3 days a week for junior highs. And, ever since we kind of started doing this, it was important for me to find a way to give back to the community with this stuff. Ah, sorry, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So, so my daughter, Robin has some pretty challenging. Sorry, guys. My daughter Robin has some pretty challenging medical challenges. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's okay. Okay. So we
Yeah, we've partnered with Makers Making Change, which is a Neil Squires program, and they're based out of Burnaby, BC. And it's a phenomenal program. Connor's now been doing it for the past 2 years. Four Winds started this year. And like the expertise they bring and what they bring for the students to actually do and understand. So with Gibbons themselves, they've created, assembled, and donated. So what the students create, they actually donate to the community. 100 accessible switches, 30 switch testers, 15 dice rolling toys. Four Winds has also done adaptive controllers for the Xboxes. We also received a grant, or Gibbons did as well, or Gibbons did, from Makers Making Choice, and purchased 30 of these soldering kits. Namao has borrowed them. We have borrowed them. So these kits have gone out to our district. And we'd like to show you a quick video about the Hacking for the Holiday fundraiser. Okay.
I just want to show. So these little switches that are going around, like one that Ms. Warren has right now. These, like, sort of most available commercial switch on the market looks like this. It's about this size, almost exactly like this. Guess how much this costs? If you could guess. It's just a button and a USB. $40. 200? A little too much. $100. Okay, so a switch like this, it's called a Jelly Bean, $100. These do the exact same thing. You can make these for about $3. Yeah. So using our 3D printed materials, and if you look inside, really all it is a little tactile switch. That was advanced, I can't show you, but it's just a little switch. It's honestly probably about this big, and it just goes click, 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 click like a mouse. That's really all that it is. So by reducing this cost, it makes it affordable for families like mine to actually provide this stuff to our kids, right? So how I actually heard about this program was Robin was at the Glenrose doing a stint of rehab, and she actually received a toy from the Hacking for the Holidays. So that was a event that we participated in this year, and I'll just show you guys what that's all about.
Some kids adapt a little differently. Their toys should too. Hacking for the Holidays is a campaign by Neil Squires Makers
Oh, I paused it. I'm sorry.
Making Change program, connecting thousands of volunteer makers across the country with kids who rely on them. Over 100 build events hosted by corporate partners, organizations, and schools. Adapt and deliver hundreds of new accessible toys and assistive switches to children with disabilities in Canada. Get involved and donate at makersmakingchange.com.
So yeah, it's just a really beautiful charity, and it's really nice to give back in that way. Yeah, like I said, man, sorry guys. Robin is a recipient of this program. And so what some kids did, I don't know where this was from, but you can see the back here. Because it's hard for some kids to so they opened up the remote and drilled some holes to basically reroute these buttons to be on switches. So instead of having to hold it to let everybody do that, all you have to do is press, like I can make this out on a table and Robin will just press the button and right? So it has a really big impact on families, and being able to give back like that was really awesome. So we've made between this year and last year, this is a dice roller. So it's pretty noisy, but you kind of pass that around. This is a great toy. Again, we use that at home when we play games, because again, rolling dice could be a bit of a challenge, but it's all contained and ready to go. But not only is it great because we get to give back, the kids also get to learn some super valuable skills. So we did get a grant from Makers Making Change, and we bought these soldering kits. So there's soldering irons and wire strippers and gloves and screwdrivers and screws, and we've been able to bring these for our presentations, and we've been able to host build events like this. Four Winds has borrowed them, Nails is going to borrow them. So the more these kits get out, the more switches we can make, and the more families get to use them. So that's something really special.
Yeah, it's awesome. Even at our school, we have recipients at our school as well now because of the program that Connor brought in. So yeah, we're very thankful. Uh-oh. Okay. We have time? Do you want to? Okay.
What's your favorite project you made in STEAM this year? Why did we make those?
To help children with disabilities, so we can modify toys for them to use that.
And how did you make it? Can you open it up? Or wait, sorry, first show me how it works.
So there's this button that's easy to press, and it will light this up.
Very cool. Can you show me the inside? So how did you make that?
I soldered wires together, soldering. I have a resistor, this light, and this button here, which also turns it on.
Very cool. And when we first started soldering with the soldering iron, how did you feel about it?
Oh, that I didn't want to do it.
And how did you feel after we finished that project?
I was proud of myself and like did it.
Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, it is kind of nerve wracking for kids because it's a I don't know, if you ever seen a soldering iron, just like 400 degrees, melting iron or like little tin stuff onto electric components. And the kids are kind of nervous about it, but once they get going with it, they like break that sort of barrier and become super comfortable and want to do more with it.
Yeah, we found the same thing for sure. Actually, I had to buy a bunch of kits for my program as well this year.
What's it?
All righty. Oops, sorry. Ooh, went too far. So at Four Winds this year, we had the opportunity also to participate in the Makers Making Change program. We had our local fire department, the Morinville Fire Department, in to do the pumpkin drop this year, where students were tasked with protecting a pumpkin from smashing. Then our principal was like, bring it higher, higher. I'm like, no, the physics are gonna. So I just had to tell the kids, I'm sorry, but your pumpkins are gonna crack. Because the principal wanted it as high as it could go. But it was fun. It was really nice having the community as well. We partnered with Skills Canada and did skills exploration days, which was an amazing opportunity for our grade 8, 9 students. They provided kits for fabric, like for sewing, for carpentry, for electronics, for photography, and the kids got to try a bunch of different trades before we participated in the event. And then their task was to create a water conservation project that will save water in the end, because we learned all about water and how we're wasting it in Canada. We're one of the top 5 countries who waste the most water. So the kids really were passionate about that and created some really cool prototypes, which you'll see at the end. And then the grade 5 STEAM Academy, we had the opportunity to be YouTube stars because they got to participate in a virtual event with Dr. Jenny City Gibbons, who is the backup for Jeremy for Artemis too. So they got to actually ask questions online, and they felt really proud of themselves and really represented our district and school amazingly. So those are just some of the community things that we do. And we did a graphic design unit at the start of the year for grade 8, 9, that we now have actual companies and nonprofits coming up to us and getting help for their social media. So the grade 8, 9s are actually volunteering and doing their social media posts. They're starting on doing their like newspaper article writing and just really taking ownership. And I think they're having a really good time. So it's been fantastic. The leadership and speaking, we've been doing a lot more of it, Connor and I. So we got to last year, the first STEAM conference. We represented our district and did some presentations on starting a STEAM academy or club, getting more people involved. And from that, I had 5 different divisions reach out and come visit our school and visit our program. And I'm still in contact with a lot of them, providing ideas. I have a whole like website that people use in order, and month by month, what to do for the program. So that's been really cool. And just helping other divisions out and showing them the possibilities of starting an academy at their school. Because really we have sports academies, we have dance academies, but what about those kids who like to build, make, create, and innovate? And then this year we did 2 sessions at the ATLE Convergence Conference, both on starting a STEAM Academy and Club, and also like a playground where we set up tables and they could just solder, they can work on robotics, they can work on coding, and we're there to help facilitate and guide and show them some sample lessons. So building capacity in our whole community. And then we hope to do more in the future as well. Yeah. So that's kind of our hope. And just some sample pictures from both Gibbons and Four Winds. We learned about nested loops. So that's coding term. So they did some nested loop work with their new root robots. Here we were, these are the Skills Canada, the water conservation. So they had to build their prototype and then create a graphic as well that explained it. This was also that day. And we also work with AR and augmented reality.
And we did a field trip recently with Nemeo and went to Arcade in Sherwood Park which is pretty sweet field trip. We spent an afternoon, but it was great because like when we get into making video games and stuff, kids can go and see and sample, 50 different video games all in the afternoon. They do a little reflection about, what's a good video game, what drew you in, how did the point system work, what made you feel like that balance between success but also challenge with it. And the junior highs made these cardboard tech things and hosted an event for the school where a bunch of elementary kids came and tried it, which was really fun.
Yeah, we usually just try to find out what their passions are and build from there. That's what it's all about. And then we can take any questions. We just have a bit of information, how many are now enrolled in academies, how many teachers are teaching, how many classes we have. Namao is now currently creating capacity in its teaching staff. And from there, they're developing a STEAM Academy program for next year. Sturgeon Composite High School, we're very excited for this because this is the future for our students who are enrolled in the program, is being developed, and as well as we're working with the new curriculum and incorporating STEAM into the new curriculum for all. But we still recognize the importance of having an academy for those kids who that is their passion, that is their focus. Yeah. And any questions?
They do, to some degree. It's sort of funny because with Steam, like it's coming. Right now we're in a big at Gibbons anyways, we're in a big growth year.
Mhm.
And there's so much with Steam. Like you could do 5 years and never get into the like electrical like the stuff that actual electricians do. You know what I mean? But that is something that I want to bring in. We do have kits that do just involve resistors and like 5-volt motors, and you got to figure out, okay, if I have a 3-volt battery pack, how much do I need if I have a a 1.5-volt LED and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
as we look at the program, like the grade 5 level, 6 level, I don't see that. But the grade, as they get up and the grade 8, 9 level, that's when we'd start introducing.
My ultimate dream, I found this is about a year ago. I found a pinball machine for free on Mindcell.
Yes, you can.
And that's my goal one day is to get the kids so they can help me fix the machine. So it's like we'll get there. We're not quite there yet. But yeah, that's like that is exactly the stuff that we do and that we're trying for.
And yeah, our goal is to build capacity at our schools so everybody can experience this as well.
Tasha Otway McClay, Ward 6. I just want to say, makers making change. That is brilliant.
It is.
That is so cool. I spent 10 years working with kids of different abilities and with very diverse needs. And literally there is nothing comparable to seeing a kid discover an ability.
Yeah.
And this just helps with that. So you feel the feels because it's worth it.
Mhm.
That's totally worth it.
Yeah, it is. And it,
Thanks.
yeah, I mean, I can't, I didn't make any of this stuff. I mean, I'm just reaching out to them and they're doing this stuff with us. But just the fact that they are able to come into schools and do this stuff, like, it's so new. The kids learn so much.
And then they asked to do it again.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
And again, those skills. So we took the skills we learned in this, and then they made their own little like digital dice simulator.
Yeah, the dice
And
simulator.
they made a little like Simon Says game. So yeah, I mean, actually, we're doing more of that than I think we are. Like we're
Yeah.
taking like a PC board, like a computer board, and soldering on resistors and switches and IC chips and making their own games. So it's a kind of a kit, so they're not really diving into the why, but they are diving into the how, and that's just as important, right?
Thank you for your presentation, Cindy Briggs, Ward 2. Thank you for your presentation. This was so out of my realm, but I'm so glad that our division is leading in the province. And it's because we have passionate people teaching and encouraging our kids to to figure things out as they learn,
Mhm.
and they're learning with not even realizing what they're learning. So thank you.
Trish Marie Elliott, Ward 4, and basically, I was gonna say what Cindy was saying, but every time I hear Christina Defoe from Four Winds, I groan because we miss you at Sturgeon Heights, but I think you've really found your fit there and things are working out so well and you're doing such a great job. And again, really proud that our division is innovative and sharing with other divisions and really leading the way in this really important field. So thank you and really enjoyed the presentation.
Yeah, thank you. And it's great to have a team to work with as well.
Well, I want to thank you for coming today and sharing your expertise and what's been going on in your schools. And yeah, like, thank you. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for your love of science and keep going.
Oh, yeah.
It's- Yeah, thank you. Happy holidays. Yeah. Michelle, is Janet online?
So yeah, this was something that one of my students made during their genius hour time, which was the time they're on, like when they're passionate about what they want to make. They're like, Mr. Phil, feel this. You made me like feel it up and down, and it's very, very like tactile, and you can move it, so it's just fidget. So he made his own fidget for
That
the
is
classroom.
so
He's like, it's nice and.
Oh.
And yeah, so he made it spin and roll, and then here's the back. So it just comes to the forward, back and. Thank you.
Michelle, are you able to unmute Janet for us? Janet is on line and she's just going to give us an ATA report. And she has to leave by 10. That's why I'm kind of putting her first. No, it's okay.
You're fine.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
morning.
Janet.
Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to talk about our ATA local. This year, we've really been focused on connecting our members. So we had a World Teachers Event Day celebrating the amazing teachers of our division. And we also had a PD opportunity where the ATA came out and talked about the professional code of conduct. We are having another ATA presentation in January on artificial intelligence and the uses in the classroom, where it's safe to use it in the classroom and where there are some things that people need to reflect on and be cautious about in the classroom. So that is happening on January 17th. We had also given out 25 PD scholarships or PD grants, I guess, worth about $600 each for our members. And we're having another 25 to give out in January as well. So lots of opportunities for our members to enhance their professional development. And yeah, that's where we're focusing. We also took a light dinner out to our colleagues at Landing Trail, who of course are going through a tough time and who we all hold in our hearts as they need to heal and move through their loss. So that's what the ATA has been up to. In terms of provincially, we continue to monitor, of course, the commission and try to, alert our members to those kinds of things as well. So. Are there any questions?
Hey, thank you for your report, Janet. Does anybody have any questions for her? Okay, seeing no hands going up around the table, thank you very much for taking the time out of your morning to give us your report.
Okay, thank you. Have a happy break, everyone.
You as well.
Thanks.
Okay, we're going to move on to action items number 7.1 memorandum of agreement between Sturgeon Public Schools and the Alberta Teachers Association. Lee, do I say it? No, you can. Lisa.
On October 16th, the negotiating committee, who is comprised of Irene, Stacy, and Tasha, met with the ATA, and we reached a potential settlement at that time. The ATA has since ratified this memorandum of agreement at their meeting on November the 30th of 2023. A complete list of the agreed items is attached to the memo for your review, and a summary is contained in the memo itself. A motion is required for this. Administration is prepared to respond to any questions.
Can I get someone to put the motion forward? Tasha?
Tasha Otway McClay, Ward 6. I move that the Board of Trustees approve the memorandum of agreement between Sturgeon Public Schools and the Alberta Teachers Association as presented at the December 20th, 2023 public board meeting.
Does anybody have any questions on the motion? Okay, so as per section 8(2)B of the board procedures regulation, trustee Dwyer will be abstaining from the vote on this question due to the pecuniary interest in the matter as required by section 88(1) of the Education Act. So the question, I'm going to call the question that the Board of Trustees approve the memorandum of agreement between Sturgeon Public Schools and the Alberta Teachers Association as presented at the December 20th, 2023 public board meeting. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, thank you. 7.2 March public board meeting. You want to, or me? Okay, I will speak to it. So what we had noticed, and I apologize, we didn't catch it before our organizational meeting, is that the March public board meeting, March 27th falls on spring break. And being how difficult it can be to get our senior admin to have time to take vacation, it's always easiest when nobody's in the school for them to take time off. So I am proposing that our March public board, okay, I'm going to recommend for motion that the Board of Trustees approve that the March public board meeting be moved from March 27th, 2024 to March 20th, 2024. And now I open it up for questions and discussion. Tasha.
Tasha Otway McClay, Ward 6. So I can't attend a rescheduled meeting. And so I would vote against this. But what I wanted to bring up for discussion was this is the third month that we've done this. And I think that as a board, we should reconsider our meeting dates to potentially move them to the first and third week of every month, because it just, frankly, I plan life around the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month. And this year has been challenging. And so I would like to see something more consistent and stable for the future. Thanks.
Joe?
I'm okay with it, but I schedule.
Yeah,
They
no,
Give me a schedule.
Yeah.
Can't change it. So I'm not sure where I sit.
Okay,
So I could miss.
Cindy?
I'm understanding that it is spring break and it is good for our senior administration to use their vacation time at that time. I think we definitely did overlook this as a board and we need to look at it clear next year, and it was an error. I'm not okay with moving the March 6th because we have a board meeting one week and then the next week we have our cow, but I'm understanding about this.
Stacy?
Excuse me. Thank you. I can attend either one. I agree that we need some consistency, and this year has been a little bit funny in that way. I was thinking the same thing about having public board then cow, but we do require that 2 weeks in between. So I would support this change for this year, but we certainly need to do a little bit better job looking at those dates moving forward.
Trish?
Yeah, consistency, I guess. So yes, I guess in the past, we just had our meetings regardless of what was going on in the schools and that kind of worked out okay. But for the reasons said, if that is inconvenient and we want to change it, yeah, let's have a closer look at things as far ahead as possible so that it doesn't interfere with everybody's life.
Joe?
There's another, sorry guys, sorry Stacy, I keep forgetting this. There's another aspect of this too. There's a whole public, I know we don't get too many, I got it, but we still, as a professional board, we publicly put our dates out there and changing them is, it's not but I'm okay with it personally, but I think there's another aspect we're not thinking of too sometimes.
Cindy?
We seem to have a lot of opinions around the board table. Maybe this is something that can wait until January.
No, I would like to, because that wouldn't be till the end of January. And so I don't really want to table this. That way everybody can know what day the meeting is going to be, whether we move it or we keep it the same. Yeah. Tasha?
Okay, just to be clear, as you call a vote, I will vote in favor of this because I respect the fact that we need a decision today, but I will not be able to attend one of the two meetings. So just my acknowledgement or approval of the motion does not reflect my attendance at said meeting.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. 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 Anything further? Okay, I'm going to call the question that the Board of Trustees approve that the March public board meeting be moved from March 27th, 2024 to March 20th, 2024. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, 7.3 policy 2.5 operational school year. Lisa.
A recommendation is being brought forward to rescind policy 205 as it is clearly defined for the role of the board in the Education Act. And so it is a little bit redundant. And we later on will look at administrative policy or procedure, I'm sorry, that will address some of the questions. A motion is required. Administration is prepared to answer any question.
Trish?
Always happy to move to get rid of redundant policies. So I move that the Board of Trustees approve that the March public, oh, I'm on the wrong one, sorry. That the Board of Trustees rescind policy 205, operational school year as presented at the December 20th, 2023 public board meeting.
Any questions or discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing nothing, I'm going to call the question that the Board of Trustees rescind policy 205, operational school year as presented at the December 20th, 2023 public board meeting. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay. Moving right along, administrative reports, 8.1 class size information survey report. Shauna.
Thank you, Chair. Shauna Warren, Superintendent. So just to remind the board that back in 2019, the Alberta Education Act did discontinue the class size information survey initiative. We did historically always have to report that to Alberta Education. So we have continued. The board had at that time had asked that it continue. So we have continued to do so this time each year, that we provide you with a division snapshot of our class sizes and our trend analysis. So just some reminders as you're looking at the class size averages is that we have defined a class as one group of students with one teacher for 50% or more of the instructional time devoted to the subject. And that if it's a multi-grade classroom with one teacher, it's counted as one class. So that's if it's a split, it's counted as one. And that if it is a multi-graded classroom, that it's actually included with the higher grades. So a 3-4 split combined class would be included in the grade 4 category. For high school, this data only captures the first semester courses. And it is only for core classes, which is language arts, social studies, math, and science. And so our non-core classes are not included. And also not included are our outreach programs, our How to Write, Colony, Oak Hill, or Legal Public School. And that this data is based on our enrollment numbers and by class as of September 29th.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions? Tasha?
I'm just wondering if our, like the board directed numbers are still reasonable for teaching staff and support staff in the classes.
Well, as you can see, when you compare the average to what the board approved as part of the budget, we are well below. I do feel our schools are well supported at the time. So there is that direct comparison as to what was during the budget, what you approved the class sizes based on and what the actuals are as of September 29th.
Just a quick follow-up. Those numbers we picked those numbers in fall or winter of 2019, yes?
Yes, they are similar. We did drop the one high school one, if you remember, in your last one. It was a little bit lower. We had it at 29.95 or 30 in the previous year, and then we had dropped the high school one.
Joe?
I'm not even sure how I want to say that. Like, this report always bothers me because it's an averaging, right? So what does it really mean to us? Like, I mean, we have a class with 10 and another one with 30, so our average is 20. It's really, I have a hard time getting that. It's just more of a comment, I guess, instead of a question, sorry. But it's I don't know, just represent it to me in not the right way. So, because a lot of people take this that we won't have anything over 19.46 in it. Well, that's not true. It's an averaging type system, and which doesn't really, to me, in a sense, bring out the reality of some of the situations.
Cindy?
I actually really like this report because it does give us a baseline on where our class sizes should be. Are they higher? Are they lower? Without this report, we don't have a baseline for our class sizes. So I actually really like it.
Trish?
I also like this report, but taking into consideration what Joe was saying. And seeing that it's not really regulated that we do this report continually, can we look forward to seeing it annually still?
That would be the will of the board. If that is the information, if the board feels that this is still valuable information, then administration will bring it forward. Stacy, do you have anything?
Yeah, can you not see when I raise my hand? Just curious.
Oh, I'm not looking up in the top corner. My
Okay.
apologies.
No, no worries. I just wasn't sure if it was working or not. I was going to, mention that, yeah, this is, I find it useful, but it would be nice if it maybe accompanied some hotspots. Like Trustee Dwyer was mentioning, sometimes we have, anomalies within our system, and how those are being accommodated as well would be helpful in the report, I think. But also listening to some of the other boards at ASBA and PSBAA, most of them are still collecting this data, even though it's not required anymore. So I think it would be prudent for our board to continue to collect this, even if it is just the averages going forward, because eventually we may, even if it's not at the provincial level, but at the association level, may want to have some discussions with other school boards as well. So I appreciate this information, and averages can be deceiving sometimes. And as long as we are aware that how we speak to our stakeholders about it, because I know that sometimes parents are concerned about class sizes, and we do have to share that how we are remedying the issues as they come up and where those hotspots are, and that we do acknowledge that they exist. Thanks.
Okay. My governance question is not expecting an answer today because I didn't put it forward early, but I just thought of it. And being that this is just our first quarter and averages are going to change probably next semester, especially in the high school. What kind of impact is this going to have on our budget? Like I don't see it having that we're going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars left when we said we're going to have a deficit plus budget. So that's the only place where I'm looking at right now. But I'm sure in our quarterly reports, I will be enlightened. But that's just my question. But I don't expect an answer from senior admin today. Okay.
Thank you, Shauna Warren, Superintendent. So there won't be an impact on budget. This is why as superintendent, why I have the discretionary. And so if I will just remind the board is this budget, your class size averages is what were included when you passed the budget for this current school year last spring. And that any staffing changes, if there are hot spots in our schools, that we work very closely with our schools, and that we did look at our RPT numbers at the end and how schools were allocated. And I remind the board that last month I reported that at the end of September 30th, the staffing's finished. Some schools have a little bit of FTE left over. And as you know, if you have all full-time staff or a 0.1 or a 0.01, might not be used, actually feasible to be used in the school, so that we bring it back, pull it together, and that we were able to support some challenges in our schools where there were some other class sizes or needs in schools where we could provide using those. And that's also where the discretionary dollars are used throughout the year. But this reporting of these class size numbers has no impact on the budget. This is just for information. This is an average across the division. And I'll just remind the board, yes, there are different class sizes, and in some schools, as I said, this is very operational. As a longstanding teacher, a class of 35 can be quite manageable. A class of 40 can be manageable. All depends on the class, and often a split. We have no option but to have a split because the numbers just make it difficult to run straight grades. So no school is the same. And so you cannot, it's not possible to meet that average across all schools because the children, the bums in seats or the bums in seats. So that's just what lands. But again, this is information for the board. It's just to give you the snapshot. You approve the budget based on those averages. And this is just to let you know if we average them across the division, that's what you're looking at.
As I said earlier, I really like this report and it does give us a baseline. But as Superintendent Warren just said, it's important that we also consider the needs in the classroom. So this is a baseline for a number, but the needs in the classroom is very concerning as well. So this is just a baseline for numbers.
Yeah, and I also think it's really important to take this report in conjunction with Shauna's discretionary spending report, because the two of them are going to go hand in hand. So I really do appreciate having this, and Stacy's right. Both associations have encouraged us to continue keeping these numbers, and if nothing else, just share amongst each other in a informal fashion.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to 8.2, summary of programs available across Sturgeon Public School Division. Shauna.
Thank you, Shauna Warren, Superintendent. So again, for your information, it's in the package, and we wanted this to be forward facing. And so it is a breakdown of our current programming across our schools. And I will just also point out that it was asked, Trustee Peckman had just asked that we look at Redwater School and put the junior high CTS programming separate from the high school. So that was separated out. So it's provided as information.
Any questions? Nope. 8.3, Transportation Services Department report.
Just want to make sure it's on. Sean Nicholson, Associate Superintendent Corporate Services. So Sturgeon Public Schools operates the report attached as a summary report. We operate 73 school buses and transport over 3,000 students over 10,000 kilometers a day. The start of the 2023-2024 fiscal year went well as all routes were operated on the first day of school, despite provincial difficulties obtaining bus drivers to accommodate the eligibility criteria changes. Transportation Services saw an additional 120 riders this year and added 2 new routes to reduce ride times. Total ridership consisted of 81% eligible riders, 10% school of choice, 5% ineligible, and 4% out of bounds. The majority of fees have been collected. The transportation grant needed to be submitted this year, and it's quite a lengthy process. It was due November 30th, and it was submitted with 5.14 million, which is $75,000 up from what was budgeted. And transportation is already working on preparing for bus registration for the 24-25 school year. A few challenges in the future that the province are seeing are potentially bus operator shortages and just managing parent expectations with eligibility criteria changes. From an outside perspective, new to the division in my 3rd week, transportation seems to be operating pretty smoothly and well. No concerns I'm seeing as of right now, so that is a positive. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Oh, Trish.
So in regard to the fee collection, it says that as of November 27th, suspensions occurred because of unpaid fees. Do we have students that are suspended from bus service at this time for unpaid fees?
I'll double check into that, but not that I'm aware of. I do know we have waived some fees. We held off on suspensions till we could get some forms to do the fee waivers.
Cindy?
How are we handling the student misconduct? It says that they requested school support from administration. how are we supporting our drivers, our contractors, sorry, to ensure that they are here for the long term?
Shauna?
We work very, very closely with our bus operators. If you remember last year, we actually offered some professional development. We brought our drivers in for some training for to support them for students. Our principals take a huge lead on this, and I think we work very, very well with our bus operators and our contractors, with our administration. Our school administration supports them with any student misconduct. We care very much that this buses are safe for our students to and from school. So I feel that it is a very effective way, and it is a true team approach. But the bus operators do, when there's incidents, they're always communicating with the principal, and they do keep, Amy's always in the loop on that too. So I know it's effectively done because I don't hear it. And so I know that they are very good at it. And it is a concern in some of our kiddos, as you know, there are challenges, and we work very hard with our contractors and our bus operators. And I know they found that professional development very useful last year.
Joe?
Go to our Division 3. See, I did it right this time. I just want to support that. I was actually talking to one of our bigger contractors the other night about something else, but he brought up, I said, how's things going? He said, really good. It's no problem. So I think that, and he's usually one that's got some kind of problem, but so I just want to support that conversation. So thank you.
Thank you. 8.4 communications report for November and December. Shauna?
Shauna Warren, Superintendent, has provided, this is end of November and December, your summary for the communications report of what's been going on. And so, sorry, again, as we always do, we provide you with the overview of the communication plan, the goals for the year. And that we look on for December, what's being focused on right now, our pre-K and kindergarten expo. Just a reminder to the board that please be sharing this out and talking to encouraging families to come out. These are looking at this more from a division perspective, and then we will be sharing on these dates are the open house dates. We asked our principals to please try to have their open houses dates by then so we can pass them out to families. So those will be coming very quickly. And I know you've seen the billboards and information on that. Also, before that, providing some programming, kind of summarizing sheets by school that will go out to that expo also. And next part of that is boosting our dual credit and off campus. And so Chamber of Commerce luncheon, if you remember, we had our division principal and our Learning Center alternate learning principal present at the chamber about our dual credit and programming work experience and off campus. So that was very exciting. And they continue, just notice if you follow us on social media that we are using the historical pictures of today and now comparison, continuing that. And then that last page is just showing some of how we were picked up in the media, just some links to what happened. Our upcoming events are there. And just a reminder, in the board, you'll be seeing big push out on that is our stakeholder, our parent engagements will be coming up very fast. The very first one is the second week in January. It'll be in your speaking notes going to for your councils. And the first one is the Camilla Sturgeon Heights one. So get ready to push that out to your parents.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. 8.5 quarterly financial report. John?
Thank you, Sean Nicholson. The attached report shows the first quarter results for November 30th, 2023. This is the first attempt at the quarterly report, so feedback is welcome. In my previous division, we did quarterly reports as well too. Has some graphs and charts in there. There's some changes I already kind of foresee I want to make. It's only my third week, so just give me some time. Some of them take a little bit of financial processing changes and just a little bit more regular budget updates, those kinds of things, but we'll get there. So at this point in time, in the year, we should be between 25 and 30%, depending on the category. The budget was adjusted, and they are presented in the report. Revenues were adjusted 997,000 and expenses 980. Revenues are slightly up from forecasted because of recognition of deferred funds as part of the auditor's recommendation from last year. At the end there, expenses are on par. As well, you'll also see, sorry, for the revenues that fee collection, donations, and fundraising are higher at the moment, and that's just because the majority of that happens during the beginning of the year. Leave it if there are any questions from the trustees.
Are there any questions? Trish?
I see that services contract and supplies is up $1 million over budgeted. Just could I get a quick rundown on what that entails?
Yep, so that's our ASB equity payment because we're joining, sorry, not ASB. That's our ARMIC equity payment because we're joining ARMIC. So we have to put about $230,000 up front for the reciprocal. Increased in contracted caretaking and increased in CBOs as we added additional routes to support ridership are a few of the items.
Okay. Thank you very much. 8.6 2023-2024 Superintendent Discretionary Fund. Shauna.
Thank you, Shauna Warren, Superintendent. Provided for your information is the update on the Superintendent Discretionary Fund. And so for November 23rd to December 13th, the following additional staffing full-time equivalents and resources were added to schools using the Superintendent Discretionary Fund dollars. So Sturgeon Competent High School, we were looking at their specialized programming and their vocational EAs. And so we are adding the principal, Mr. Cripps, did have 0.39 remaining in his RPT. And so in order to get that 1.0 EA position, 0.61 FTE came out of the superintendent discretionary budget. Also, we added a full-time child and youth care worker to Lillian Schick, and this is for grade 5-6 logos class with had a new student move in with complex needs. At Okra Park, also an additional 1.0 child and youth care worker. Same thing, new students with complex needs. And we also, there's some, to top up some funds that were allocated to support a child and youth care worker at Lillian Schick, a new student. And but this student has been partially funded through Jordan's Principal, so was partially funded through federal dollars. And so there was just some top up that was needed to fulfill that 1.0 FTE. And same thing at Redwater School. Also, just some top-up funds. This is also a child who qualified through Jordan's Principal, but some extra dollars were needed to accommodate the 1.0 full-time equivalency. Looking at Lanning Trail, just some with the changes that have happened there as recently with the tragic loss of a teacher, etc., and some additional complex needs that you heard about the supported recess and non-structured time programming that's going on there. So an additional 0.4 FTE has been allocated for the remainder of the year. And the month before I reported that it was 0.1, so it actually ends up being full-time, that position or that additional support ends up being for the year. At Lanning Trail, we needed for one of the pre-kindergarten classes to add an extra EA to that class. Of course, that's part-time, so it's 0.5 for the remainder of the year. And also across the division, when we reported to you last, we were just talking about social worker caseloads, and our caseloads for social workers is very high. And so we're adding an additional full-time social worker across the division to address our very high number of caseloads. And so there's the budget summary for your information.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Trish?
So just for clarification on the chart. You have the child and youth care workers that were hired December 11th. So you have two at one FTE at 39.8. And then two below that, one FTE at 95. So those are just the top ups, the 95s.
That is correct, because the other 30,000 is covered by the Jordan's Principal Grant.
Great, well, thank you. 8.7 Superintendent Report, Shauna?
And provided as information for the board is my monthly superintendent report.
I just want to say thank you for this report. We're very busy. I appreciate this. Does anybody have any questions? Trish?
Two specific thank yous, Shauna. First of all, for asking Mayor Lana to send us a download of her State of the County address. Also for speaking to her about how we can collaborate with the airport to help our kids get education in that. Good work.
Thank you. Moving on, 8.8 Administrative Procedure 235 Operational School Year and Calendar. Lisa.
So my apologies, I didn't introduce myself in the previous item. So I'm Lisa Lacroix, the Associate Superintendent of Human Resources. Administrative Procedure 235 Operational School Year Calendar has been reviewed and to amend to align with the requirements as set out in the Education Act. This is for information only, and administration is prepared to respond to any questions.
Does anybody have any questions? Thank you very much. Moving right along. Look at us trucking along. You might make that dinner yet. 9.1 Chair's Report. So mine will be included in the minutes. One of the oh, look at, I even forgot to put it on there. One of the things I was going to highlight it and put on my report. December 15th, we had Gibbons School had a pancake breakfast put on by their parent council. And they had 3 members from the Pioneer hockey team and town mayor and 2 councillors come out and help out. And it was just lovely to see the wraparound that the community is, the outside community is done for the school community. And then Lanning Trail, the same thing, the way they've wrapped around the school has been, I've been greatly appreciated. It's been a tough 3 weeks in Gibbons, and yeah, everything else is. Oh, and I went on Monday to the high school to sit in with the Member of Parliament Dan Lloyd's presentation to the Social 30-1 class, and that's actually the first time I've ever heard him speak. So that was good to see. I will start in the front with Stacy.
I submitted my report late yesterday afternoon, so I'm not sure if it made it into the package or not, but it will be there. Thank you to Sturgeon Heights for including me at their Christmas concert. It was fabulous. I'm not sure that I'm going to make it over to MPS's Fringe tomorrow. I don't want to infect everybody. I did attend the ASBA Speakers Corner on December 11th about the commission reports the teachers' complaints. It was really interesting. If anybody gets a chance, it should be posted on the ASBA Learning Center. I found it very worthwhile. I also attended the NSBA, the National School Board Association Rural Summit of the U.S. school boards, which was a long afternoon, but there was a few tidbits that were interesting out of there as well. I attended the Alternate Learning Christmas Luncheon, which was very fun. It was part of their last Flex Friday of the year. So there was a lot of the kids from the virtual academy there, which is always fun. I did a few more of the modules in PSBAA. Number 6, module 6, if anybody wants to take a look, I found was interesting. It was about the multi-year strategic planning. Something I know that we've talked lots about at the table, but I thought it was well organized. It was a worthwhile module if anybody wants to take a look at that. And I'm doing the 4 Seasons of Reconciliation. They release it by quarter, and so I look forward to, I've completed the first one, and there'll be the next one coming out in January, so I look forward to that.
Trish Marie Elliott, Ward 4. Stacy, do you think that module 6 would be a good one for us to do as a board?
Yeah, it might be. I feel like it may tie into some other ones, so I'm going to see if, as I make my way through, see if there's a couple that might tie together. They're quite short, so it may be worthwhile to have, you know, a couple of them that we can do in a, like, do the reading and then have discussion about all of them. So I'll keep you guys updated if there's anything that I find interesting there.
Trish Marie Elliott, Ward 4. Of course, this is such a fun time of year, so all these exciting activities I was very happy to attend. The Sturgeon Heights Winter Concert was a lot of fun, and the Sturgeon concert at the Arden was, as always, fantastic. We have some really talented students and staff, of course. I also, well, my report has been submitted, so you can see what's going on there, but it was interesting. I also joined Irene to listen to Dane Lloyd, our MP, speak to the students, and he is a good speaker and had some good points, and I found it most interesting to hear some of the comments and questions from the students. So it was really worthwhile, I thought. So, and that's everything for this month.
Tasha Otway, Maclay, Ward 6. My report's available for your review in the package. Just 2 quick little notes. Aside from what I did as part of the board, I also attended a governance webinar series online regarding governance, minute takings, and actually it wasn't so much the minute taking portion that was interesting, but the way that some boards organize their presentations and what is considered relevant, what is not. It led to some good questions on questions to ask. And second, for anybody interested, December 28th. I didn't include it in what I was doing because I wasn't sure if it was relevant as a trustee, but as a trustee, I'm going to go volunteer at the Nemeo Parent Council and Nemeo Ag Society joint family skate day at the Jack Spears rink down at Nemeo. So if anybody wants to come and see me, I will be there at 9:30 till noon, getting things ready for hot chocolate and stuff. Thanks.
Cindy Briggs, Ward 2. My report has been submitted. December's a fun month. It's also a really stressful month in the schools, and I want to ensure that a shout out goes to all our schools for supporting our communities, for food bank and wellness. So thank you to all our schools that are giving back to the communities. and looking forward to my last Christmas concert tomorrow.
Joe Dwyer, Ward 3. Again, I went and cooked pancakes at a pancake appreciation for the school at Camilla. I've been to Namao and Camilla's and the Colony tomorrow. Christmas concerts, which are a lot of fun. Namao, and I was there because my grandson was there. And Camilla just packed. It's absolutely packed, which is really good to see. And the Colony will be tomorrow. I had some stuff on Rotary, but I see we have a Rotary report here. Just an interesting one is Councillor Como sent me, and I haven't been able to get back to him. I sent him a text, but anyways, he sent me a text, which was kind of interesting, saying that the municipality of Sturgeon County and us should get together to advocate for Highway 28 and 37. I thought, okay, what have you been missing? But anyways, we'll see what that means when I talk to him. I just thought I'd bring it up here for interest's sake. Maybe it's a further application, I don't know, but it should be fair to him till I talk to him, but okay. And the rest, just the regular meetings and lots of Christmas stuff.
Okay. 9.2.1, the board strategic work plan. Is there anything that we need to update? We have MLA Getson and Nally booked in to come to meet with us. Has anybody else, is there anything else that we saw that was like, oh, we need to, oh, look at Stacy's. Is that a cat or a dog?
That one's a cat.
Yeah, does anybody have any updates on any action plans that on our strategic plan? We could talk more about it at our public board or at our COW too. Okay. 9.3 Committee of the Whole report. It's just the report there for you. If you notice any errors or omissions, you can bring it forward and we're going to approve the minutes at the next Committee of the Whole. They're there for you. Your Rotary report, Joe.
This is just different, so
Yep,
is there anything
yep.
we're especially walking out of this, or just? Oh,
So I sent an email out to all the trustees that Crystal had created a new report for, and it's in everybody's folder for Rotary report, chamber meetings.
yeah, I see.
Yeah, so we're just, so that it can be attached to the minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just on a Rotary report that affects us is, we started, and I know I've talked about this, but I'll talk about it again today, is that we started an Interact group at Sturgeon Comp. So a lady by the name, she was actually quite involved with youth over in the Stony Plain Rotary, and she moved over this, got married in this area and moved over here. So she's joined the group and she's just gung ho with youth. So we were looking for something like that. And it's really turned out well. So she started there. They had 30 students show up at the meeting, and it was just and it was on November 30th, I believe. And it was just put out. And there's a young lady, and I can't remember her name. We talked about her that we sent to Winnipeg to that human. She's been really getting this going, and supposedly there's even more interest now. So we'll see what the next meeting brings, but the Rotary has started that group with about a $4,000 bank account. And one of the things we're doing is having them out to support us in fundraising or the other events with Rotary, and they're showing up. We had 8 at one, and I think we had 6 or 7 at the last one. And And it's all about leadership. It's all about giving back to the community. It's all about that. And there's a lot of good leaders in Rotary, so that mentoring and all that. And I know Lisa has a lot of that leadership development and wellness and all that stuff. So she's going to be a good part of that. And otherwise, it's that's my Rotary report that affects us.
Awesome. 10.1 Alberta School Boards Association representative. Oh, Janine's not here. They don't meet again till, Stacy, do you happen to know when they meet again? Zone 2-3 meets the end of the month, so I don't know. Because
January.
they just met. Yeah, because they just met December 1st, so it's not going to be till January is the next meeting, correct?
Correct. And there'll be another speaker's corner in January as well.
So there's nothing to report there. 10.2, unless there's anything else you wanted to add, Stacy. Thank you for going to that. I even had it in my calendar to go to that speaker's report, and at 8:35 I went, oh, whoops. So I'm gonna actually go online and look at that one. 10.2 Public School Board Association. Trish.
Trish Marie Elliott, Ward 4. Yeah, I like that new information report that Crystal emailed out. So I actually filled it out for PSBAA and it should be included with our documents.
Awesome.
And just the highlights, there hasn't been much going on. The new advocate newsletter was emailed out on December 15th. And going forward, there's only going to be one per month, which is probably a good thing. And then we aren't inundated with all this material. In the newest advocate is info on the upcoming PSBC events in February and April, and also the 2024 spring General Assembly, and also links to register if anyone is still thinking about that. There's information there. Also, what was interesting in the advocate was a link to the Alberta Budget 2024 consultation survey, which I started looking at. And as with all surveys, I hate the way they're worded because they kind of take you in a direction, but that might be something if anyone's interested in filling that out or passing it on even to any groups. That is located there. And there was a notice in the advocate that the National Congress on Rural Education in Canada is ending due to steady decline in attendance and participation. And truthfully, I don't even know what that is. So, but has anyone ever taken, like, I don't think that's our rural caucus or anything like that. So maybe that's why it's disappearing. And also there was a virtual holiday card mailed out to everybody, I believe, on December 14th from PSBAA. And that's it. Were there any questions to do with that organization?
Thank you.
Or did Stacy have anything to add?
Okay. We're on a roll. We don't have any unfinished business. I don't see anybody other than us online for questions. So how about we take can we take a 10-minute wellness break? And then we'll come back and we'll go into camera.